I hit the stairs hard. My shoulder slammed into the wooden banister, and I tumbled down 3 steps, landing in a heap on the dirty carpet of the landing. Silence. Absolute suffocating silence. I lay there for what felt like hours, gasping for air, clutching my arm. The skin was red and tender, marked with a swirling pattern that looked like a burn or perhaps a brand. The dilapidated wallpaper was yellow and peeling again. The smell of cabbage and old cigarettes wafted from a neighbor's apartment. I was back. I screamed until my throat bled, pounding my fists on the floor, begging the gray walls to come back, begging for him to take me. But nothing happened. The world remained stubbornly, boringly real. The weeks that followed were a blur. I went to the hospital for the burn on my arm. I told them I fell against a radiator. They gave me ointment and looked at me with pity, seeing a woman who was clearly unhinged. I tried to go back to work. I sat at my desk, looking at the numbers, and felt a profound, aching hollowness. Food tasted like ash. Music, human music, sounded like tin cans rattling in the wind compared to the symphony of the void. I was a ghost haunting my own life. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw them, the falling bodies, the red mist. The trauma was there. I would wake up sweating, hearing the screams of the dying. But the nightmare always ended the same way, with the memory of his voice in my mind, the feeling of being held, the absolute certainty that I belonged in the dark. I quit my job. I walked the city at night, seeking the darkest shadows, whispering a name for him that he had never given me, but that felt right on my tongue. Selim. 6 months passed. Hope had frayed into a thin, raw nerve. I was lying on my bed, staring at the water stains on the ceiling, the silence of my apartment a physical weight. "Why have you not come?" I whispered to the empty room. "You said you would find a way, you promised." I traced the scar on my arm. It had not faded. In fact, under the light of the moon, it seemed to pulse with a faint, internal rhythm. And then the air changed. The pressure in the room dropped, my ears popping softly. The low hum of the refrigerator ceased. A profound stillness fell, a silence deeper than any I had known before. My heart stopped. I sat bolt upright, every nerve ending a light. A low vibration started in the floorboards. It was not a sound I heard, but one I felt in my bones. Thrum, thrum, thrum. It was the melody, fainter than before, filtered through the layers of reality, but it was unmistakably his song. The shadows in the corner of the room, where the moonlight did not reach, began to deepen. They did not just stretch, they pooled, turning from gray to an impossible, light-devouring black. They detached from the wall, swirling, folding in on themselves until they began to take the shape of a man, tall, broad-shouldered, composed of darkness and flickering starlight. 2 burning eyes opened in the gloom. A smile, genuine and terrified and ecstatic, broke across my face. The voice in my mind was a whisper, weak from the journey but triumphant. Elara. I scrambled off the bed, disregarding the part of my brain that screamed to run. I ran toward the dark. "You found the bridge," I wept. He stepped fully from the shadow, his form stabilizing, becoming solid enough to touch. He reached out a hand, not a claw of vapor, but a human hand forged from twilight, and this time when his fingers brushed my cheek, they did not burn. They were cold, like the void between stars, but they were solid, real. "I told you," he murmured, the thought a current of warmth in my mind as the song swelled, drowning out the noise of the world. "I would not destroy my heart." I leaned into his touch, my own hand coming up to cup his, marveling at the impossible reality of him. "You are here." He drew me closer, and for the first time I felt the substance of him against me. He was solid, yet he felt like the night sky. I was home. "And I will not leave you again," he promised, his voice filling the emptiness that had haunted me for a lifetime. I closed my eyes, and for the first time since I had fallen, the song did not end.